Hi guys, it is the real Randy Chavez here. This is not where I thought we would be on the 4th of July. Still in COVID, still in quarantine in New York, but alas, alack, we have the Bud Light Platinum, we have the Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Totally NSFW video, not safe for work, not safe for life, not safe for anything unless you're an adult 18 years or older that doesn't get offended by shit. So, recently in the past couple months, I've had two videos, a Tesla versus Pokemon and a Tesla versus Pokemon 2. What they should have been called is a Tesla and stock market versus Pokemon and nostalgia. Because they're you know how back in the day they would say like, oh, Sammy Sosa and the Cubs versus Mark McGwire and the Cardinals. Yes, they are two things, but they're two things that represent other huge things. Tesla represents the market and what people think they're towards the future, towards electric cars, what they think it'll be as far as changing the world. Pokemon is taking a lot of good stuff that you had back in the day. Not all the bad stuff, none of the bad stuff, but taking everything that you loved as a kid, everything that they taught you things that in American cartoons they didn't really necessarily teach. And I've said in the past that Pokemon grows faster than stocks. And for the most part, that's true. For the most part, I've seen my Pokemon portfolio grow like 3 to 4 times what it has been as opposed to my stock portfolio. However, this is because and again, stock, yes, in general, S&P 500 will give you anywhere from 8 to 12% of gains per year on average. That's including the good years, that's including the bad years where you lose money. This year for the S&P 500 has been a crazy roller coaster. Went up, went down, V-shaped recovery. President Trump says they're probably not going to have another shutdown. The Fed is printing hundreds of billions of dollars. And so that the market doesn't crash again. Now, in March, April, May of this year, America was on sale. You could buy great American companies for half the price that you could have. Pennies on the dollar. Tesla went from 900 something a share to 350 a share. And that is something that we're probably not going to see again. 10, 15 years down the road, we're not going to see a huge discount like that again. Now with Pokemon, pretty much with Pokemon and nostalgia, the current time, like Ben Shapiro says, the current place, there is no better time in history than whatever the date is right now. Whatever the date is tomorrow, there'll be no current time better in history than that date. With Pokemon, with anything nostalgic like this, there's not going to be a better time to invest than right now. Yes, there are going to be peaks and valleys. I could have paid $650 for an Erica's Venusaur, first edition PSA 9, and now I can't sell it for $500. Now it's only worth $450. There are going to be peaks and valleys. They're like the stock market, like anything. There's going to be people flooding the market at once because they see a high price and like, oh, okay, now there's a lot of volume, but maybe not as much demand. And there's going to be plays like, oh, this sold for this, so I better buy this now. Be a lot of demand, not enough supply. So that's just going to happen. And with stocks, you don't see that because stocks, for the most part, you don't see that because there's tens of millions of shares that you can buy, whereas Pokemon cards, there's very, very few. And yes, Pokemon cards in general, I believe, again, it's just my opinion, my inebriated opinion, Pokemon cards in general will outpace the market, but not Tesla. Here's why I think that. All right, year over year, let's say you gain 50, let's say even 100% on your cards with Pokemon, which, again, is not every year. Some cards from like 2010 to 2014, you didn't experience much growth at all. Really only in the last like 5 years you've seen growth with Pokemon, especially in the last 2. You know, in 2016 you saw a little bit of a, people would say a Pokemon Go bubble. It wasn't a bubble. People just got into the hobby. People enjoyed it. And then again, recently, or in quarantine, people are thinking like, okay, what makes me happy? Turns out nostalgia makes people very happy. And with this, again, 50%, 100% on your money, yeah, that's going to outpace the market. But Tesla, just my opinion, and I put out a couple videos on this as well. Tesla will grow in 10 years 25%. What it does right now. Like if I were to take my Tesla, or let's just say I had 100 shares of Tesla versus my 100 shares of Tesla, which like a week or two ago would have been $1,000, and my inventory of all my Pokemon stuff, which would have been $100,000. Let's just say again, I only have 40 shares of Tesla. So it's not worth that much, but for argument's sake, in 10 years, I do expect my Pokemon inventory, if I didn't touch it, to be worth not 100,000 that it is right now, but by 2030 to be 500,000. Tesla right now, $1,000 a share is not going to be worth just 5 times what it is right now. It's going to be worth 25 times. Again, that's my base case, 25,000. A lot of things go wrong. Yeah. Tesla could go zero, but in a bull case, Tesla can go to 35 times what it is now. Again, Tesla represents the future. People are going to invest in electric cars. Countries are telling their citizens and telling the laws that are being passed that they want renewable energy. Tesla is the leader of that. Yes, there's always going to be a market for collectibles, and yes, there's a finite amount, and yes, there's only so much product to be able to meet the overwhelming demand that there is, but it's not towards the future. In 20 years or in 10 years from now, people are going to all right. In 10 years from now, people are going to say, hey, people might not even know how to drive a car in 10 years because autonomous driving will be solved. 10 years, yeah, people will still know what Pokemon are. People are still going to be like, okay, this is something I want to pay for. Not something I need, something that I want because of nostalgia and the history behind it. But everyone's going to have Tesla energy, Tesla cars, Tesla, the full self-driving, it's going to take out Lyft, it's going to take out Uber. If anyone's been on Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds before, it shows you the future. That's what it's going to be. Everyone's going to have to feed into that Tesla energy. They're going to take over the world. Not everyone has to believe in Pokemon. People love it because they love it. And people love it because it represented a great time in their childhood. People love it for the history, and they love it for the artwork. And I think that's what people should focus on, is art and what makes them happy. But that's a small percentage of people compared to everyone that's contributing to Tesla energy and the Tesla stock. So, anyways, I have to go right now. Happy 4th, guys. I hope everyone has a very great and fantastic Independence Day. I know I am, and might look and talk American. I'm actually from Peru. I immigrated here 20-something years ago. I became a citizen in like 1996. Very happy to be here. I've been to many, many other countries. I'd much rather be in this one. I'm thankful I'm here. I love you guys. Bye.